सर्वभूतेषु यः पश्येत् भगवद्भावमात्मनः भूतानि भगवत्यात्मन्येष भागवतोत्तमः. My blissful gorgeous selves, now King Nimi asked, Holy Sire, could you please tell me the symptoms of anyone, someone, anywhere on the planet who is traversing the path of Bhagavad Dharma to the goal you just mentioned? And now, Hari Yogeshwara from the 9th of Yogeshwaras spoke. Dear King, there are 4 groups of symptoms to recognize such fortunate person. Symptoms of his lifestyle, symptoms of his instincts, symptoms of actions, and symptoms of words he utters. All beings are situated in God, although they are not aware. The same all-inclusive God is situated within myself. Myself is inclusive of God. In the whole world, people are dying, birthing and separating away from each other. There is no any feeling of missing or getting heartbreak or life ruin in the self. Nothing disturbs in natural joyfulness of the true self. Creation after creation, dissolution after dissolution, the self that is inclusive of God, the God which includes the universes and galaxies, remains perpetual in its own glory of fullness of power, wisdom and bliss, awareness and love. Sarvabhuteshu yah pashyet, sarvabhuteshu yah pashyet bhagavad bhavam atmana bhutani bhagavatyatmanyesha bhagavatottama. It can be translated, my dear friends, in 4 different ways. First, yah sarveshu bhuteshu atmana bhagavad bhavam pashyet. That means, who finds all beings of the world none different from its true self. The second, bhutani bhagavati atmani, where are all the beings and places and planets, all are in God, situated in the form of oneself in my heart. And the third is atmana yah bhagavan tasya bhavam sarvabhuteshu pashyet. Seeing the whole world in terms of your Ishta Devata, your chosen, most beloved, worshipable deity. Okay? In that form, you see the whole world. In terms of that, you see the whole world. Okay? The 4th one is Atmano Bhagavad Bhavam Sarvabhuteshu Pashyet. Feel that the way you love God, everybody also love God the same way. For example, the gopis see even river Yamuna flowing in love of Lord Krishna. And the cows and the birds and the monkeys and even Mount Giriraj are also love sunk in the tip of their nose, to the tip of their nose, just like Shukdevji Maharaj says, Prayo Vatam Bhavyaga Munayo Vanesmin Krishnekshitam Taduditam Kalavenu Gitam Aruhya Druma Bhujan Ruchira Pravalan Shrinvantyamilitadrisho Vigatanyavacha Najastada Tadupadharya Mukundagitam आवर्तलक्षितमनो भवभग्नवेगा आलिङ्गनस्थगितमो विभुजैर्मुरारेः गृह्णन्ति पादयुगलम् कमलोपहाराः. The same way, my dear friends, in Dwarka, queens of Sri Krishna are also in love trance, and they project the same feeling as in their heart, in all, in everywhere and everywhere, throughout the world. Even trees and the earth and the swans are not exceptions. Kurarivilapasitvam Vitanidranasheshe Bhagavat Swapiti Jagatiratriam Ishvaro Gupta Buddha Vayamiva Sakhi Kachit Gana Nirvinna Cheta Nalina Nayana Sodaya Lekshitena. My dear friends, if you watch daily television and listen radio and read daily newspapers, your aversion, your tension, your frustration, your fear, your sex craze levels will rise high. Your blood pressure will be sky rising. Why America is now so much terrorist conscious, my dear friends, do you know? Because every home they have television, computers, to see and know what's going on all over the world. So, when they see an aggressor, a terrorist, an attack being done on their own country, they get identified with terrible anger, and they become obsessed with aversion and violence. So the excuse of terrorist attacks, anger, aversion and violence sneaked into their chest, and they become fear conscious, my dear friend. That's the reason. In fear, doubt and suspicion, your right, your sight, your both sight and perspective gets obscured, and it stays obscured, and your brain does not function properly to achieve the target, to consider things in a very subtle way. That's why United States has not been able to wipe out, what to speak of, terrorism from the planet. He has not conquered or captured even his culprit, that mousy little man named Osama. He cannot even figure out which hole he is hiding now. And he is so frustrated, so confused, so obscured vision that he keeps giving money, keeps donating billions and billions of dollars to same Pakistan, where all terrorists have great shelter inside hidden, and who keeps fooling the US presidents again and again. Whosoever becomes president, the Muslims over there are very expert to brainwash them and get the money out of them, squeeze their throat and get money out of them. And US presidents and Americans in nutshell are very gullible, very naive to get cheated by the Muslims over and over. Why all these? Because they are frustrated people, confused people. Why they are confused, my dear friends? Because they are not working for their subtle levels of consciousness. Their goal is not personal enlightenment. Their religion is all belief, all based on belief system, some dogma, some words of some so-called prophet. So that is their belief system, and on that their lifestyle is based. Their sanskaras are patterned, and that is the cause of misery. All this mess is because you brain not being in proper order due to fear consciousness. Quite contrary to this, a paramour went to visit his beloved. Her brother spotted him out. Both were highly talented archers. The paramour saw his opponent's face resembles his beloved. He could not lift his sword towards someone who looks like his beloved. So, in a single stroke, his head was sliced away. A young man returning from the university stayed overnight on a terrace on a pier at sea beach. He just watched a program. Someone was getting married. So he dreamt he is dressed in a groom's attire and getting married. As soon as the wedding completed, he slept with his bride for honeymoon. Wife said, "It is too much. You're too much closer. Just move a little bit back." Okay? As soon as he did, he fell in the sea. He cried for help. People jumped on sailboats. They rescued him. After he had vomited all the water, he was questioned by the crowd. And he said, "My imaginary wife of my dream dumped me in the sea." Then he mumbled, "If a illusory wife can dump you in the sea, what about the real wife? Indeed, she has dumped all married men in the madhouse, and they are all blissfully unaware of their condition. Only a fortunate one can recognize the situation." Obsession with the illusory items are always life-threatening and befooling, my dear friends. But the same identification with the absolute reality or pure consciousness, a true self, is highly exhilarating. Bhutani Bhagavatyatmani. As soon as you are identified with the love of God, it permeates. It overflows. The whole world appears in beautifulness of God, and you love and love and love all and everyone and everything completely blissfully. One who attains this state is called, my dear friends, Bhagavatottama. The second class is one who loves God unboundedly, feels strong as devotion at the first sight of the saint, and feasts and hosts him and offers all that they want, who feels compassionate towards miserables, who avoids avaricious persons. And the third category is those who see God only in a temple, a synagogue, a gurudwara, in a shrine, in a church, in a mosque. He does not even care to feel devotion to saints and friendship with fellow travelers. He just shows his face once in the church and works hard and eat a lot and talk a lot and make love a lot. And he tours around the globe a lot. Hari Yogisvaras explains there are two kinds of Bhagavatottamas, my dear friends. Nirguna Bhagavatottam and Saguna Bhagavatottam. Nirguna Bhagavatottam is one who becomes one with God. And Saguna Bhagavatottam is one who keeps his or her form as well as the form of God and keeps loving Him endlessly, wildly, madly. He is decorated well with hills, with haripulations, with tears in his eyes of love. He is singing the holy name, Krishna, 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 Ram, 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 Ram. Or says, Har Har Shambho, Har Har Shambho, Har Har Shambho. Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Om Aim Ring Glim Jamundaya Vichye, Aim Ring Glim Jamundaya Vichye, Aim Ring Glim Jamundaya Vichye. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Sanstita. Namandanjay, 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 Namo Namah. He is overflooded with bliss, my dear friends. Tears of love are streaming on his face and choking voice. He is worshipping the Lord. All the siddhis, all supernatural powers, all occult powers come down running and request him to accept them. And he tells them, "Oh, madams, oh, great beings, kindly please go away. Dear sir, I have no time. I am worshipping my beloved Lord." Dear sir, they ask, "When will your worship finish?" And he says, "Perhaps creation and dissolutions may come and go, on and on and on, and great many civilizations will come and go, and even Brahma, the creator, getting tired, may cease to life, cease to create the creation, but my worship will go on and on and on. Nasmakam kshanamatramapyavasara Krishnarchana kurvatam muktir dvarya durvidapi kimiyam dasyaya lolayate. Just like in scorching heat of midday Atman, you are almost boiled or fried or barbecued up, and then suddenly the coolness of full moonlit night permeates, and you are cooled off. Same way feels the miserable heart of pressure and suppressed and tensioned, ill and underdead and tortured and cheated and deceived and persecuted soul of the persons, when even if a single flash of lightning of God's lotus feet shines up in his heart, once you become a connoisseur of this vision, God also gets bound up with your feelings. He cares for your feelings, my dear friends. Pranaya Rashanaya Dhritangri Padma. He also gets lovesick. He torments to see you, to meet you, to hold you. Nritya Didrikshaya Gataha. And to see you riding on his Garuda, the eagle vehicle, he comes down to your home and knocks your door. King Anemi asked, "Holy Sire, what is the procedure to get rid of this miserable Maya, the cosmic magic?" And now, my dear friends, third Yogisvara, Antarix Yogi, replied, "Dear king, if a child is born out of space, it will be called magic. If a man comes out of fire, it is called magic. But if child is born of parents, man emerges out of water, it is not called magic, because that happened according to the rules of the world. There is some tough power, indescribable and inconceivable, due to which pure consciousness, absolute truth, resembles as elements and the creation is materialized. Then there are some bigger forces, some smaller forces. This all is done by the same one actionless, unmanifest God. How he does? Through his Maya. He plays on and on and on and on. After all, why he plays? Why he plays on operating through his Maya, my dear? The reason is Samatraatma Prasiddhaye. Why the creation began? Who did it? And when? This is a great puzzle, a Zen koan. An answer has to be discovered by the questioner himself. Otherwise, dilemma never clears up. Egg is born first or the chicken? Seed was born first or a tree? Child or man? Who was born first? The creation is beginningless, my dear friends, and endless. And you have made it out through your own divinely God's form. Why? To glorify the magic of love. Can you believe that? Okay. If you cannot take it, due to your intellectualism, your head-oriented, your headstrong nature, then take it, consider it, to provide opportunities. Okay, why creation began? To provide opportunities to all sleeping souls to wake up and act out their karmas, so that you may qualify to strive hard for the ultimate joy of enlightenment. Had God not produced this creation, the soul will be missing a body and thinking principles to act out his or her past fortunes and happy life and red letter days and golden nights and gigglings of the thousand kinds. Okay, it would be unkind and unjust to keep them painted for eternity as they believe in Christianity and Islam. Okay? It will be unjust and unkind to do like that. The power which does all this is called Maya. Okay? Creation is his Maya, and dissolution is also his Maya. Terrorism is also his Maya. Its worldwide threat of death and destruction can only be eliminated when this Maya is understood as such. As much as you can, you have to understand it. Then when you will rise above it, then only it will not work and afflict you. Whatever has happened is happening and will happen. All are under the spell of Lord's Maya. The king asked, "Oh, what's the way to go beyond this Maya, holy sire?" And my dear friends, Yogisvara Prabuddha spoke now. Take it for granted, dear king, that you are under the heavy spell of some mighty power which is able to lure you, showing you vast opulence of America and its great citizens, magnetize you with a wife and mesmerize you with having a very beautiful Miss Universe looking wife and great looking children and big great personality friends with which you can stay mesmerized and waste all your life foolishly, happily. You can spend all your life laughing and giggling and touring around, and which can scare you up to your grandpa, showing you huge missiles and threat of Islamic terrorism and wholesale murder and Maoian and communist holocaust and various superpowers' intentions of conflict. Any time going to break third world war. All this is shown to you out of blue. Nothing at all is up there, here, or anywhere. There is none. The power which is exhibiting you the chill, the biting cold, hot shots, or throat-cutting, beheading, and murderous love affairs, horrible sex mania, and makes you laugh deliriously and cry hysterically. All are out of blue. You are just possessed without ghost. You are possessed by a ghost without being a ghost. Overdrunk for all life without wine and falling dead without reason. All this havoc is just through a power called Maya, the cosmic illusion, my dear friends. If in Jnana Yoga it is cosmic illusion, and in Bhakti Yoga it is cosmic magic of God, and just ignorance in technical yoga. So to get rid of it is not that easy, you think, as long as your sanity lost. Jump out of your bed and run fast with tight fists and approach an enlightened saint in the Himalayas. Shabde parecha nishnatam brahmanyupashamasraya. Well versed into the Vedas, Puranas and Itihasas. The one who should have taken multiple full bath in the sea of sound incarnation of absolute truth. Shabde parecha nishnatam brahmanyupashamasrayam. That kind of enlightened person you need. So, who can explain you, answer your questions with the deepest possible head-deep experience? Thirdly, he must not be involved in some vocational occupation. He should be contented in his true self, in his wisdom. His face should be illuminating the light of wisdom like the shine of full moon. His voice should be soothing. His presence should be relaxing, and you should feel lifelong intimacy in the very first sight, the moment you see him. The scope of whole intelligence stretches out to the experiences of the beyond, and not just touches it occasionally, but stays permanently abiding into that mighty event. Meet only this kind of holy man and none else, okay? After approaching him, now what to do? Once a British lady asked me, where does God Lord Shiva live? Is he still reside in Mount Kailash? I asked her, well, what you got to do with him? What do you want from him? Do you want to meet him? And she became worried and said, well, if I meet him, what shall I talk about with him? Yogeshwar Prabuddha gives you a guideline when you meet a Buddha on your way, not to drop on him ashes of your cigarette. No, don't kill him, as advises that silly psychologist. So, what to do? Tatra bhagavatan dharman shikshet guru atma daivata amayaya navrityaye tushed atmatmado hare. You must instantly offer your heart to him. Love him as your own self. No, love him, adore him, like your very God, of course. Not insisting others to take him as you do in general population. The object of honor is either your boss or your country's president. And your love is for your wife or girlfriend. If you are refined, if you require others' acceptance, your heart is too weak for attaining the truth. Okay? It should not continue after you become a connoisseur of wisdom. Lovingness of wife and honor to your boss should be rolled out in one and be addressed towards your Gurudev, and then Shikshe Guru Atma Daivata. After projecting God and the self on Gurudev, then be seated near his lotus feet and learn the science and art of Bhagavad Dharma. Yogeshwar Prabuddha says, learn with gestures, acting out amayaya and anuvritya. Do not make pomp and show. Your artificial gestures are the most unwanted items in a spiritual world. And doing service, you ask questions, my dear friends, and asking the most sensitive and beautiful and practical questions is the only service to an enlightened one. When you give money, feeling sympathy or pity to oblige others is called charity or donation. But when you give because you cannot afford to be comfortable without offering, it is called dhanam. Same way, when you serve to help others, to oblige others, feeling sympathy for others, it is service. But when you serve to purify yourself, to be comfortable in yourself, to satisfy the Gurudev, to win his heart, to receive the wisdom from him, then it is called seva, my dear friends. Seva is referred here as anuvritya. Disciple is going to take bath. I ask him, why do you bath? To clean your body? And he says, no, not at all. I bath first so that I can make my Gurudev take bath comfortably and enter to meditation room. Anuvritya means your every stage of being comfortable should become a prelude to his seva, his aradhana, to deserve his compassionate smiling glance. Now listen to the list of subjects of learning in following courses, my dear friends. It is elementary school to postgraduate degree. Okay? First, do not allow your skull to be involved anywhere outside your Gurudev. Okay? Jap, puja and dhyan. Learn from him how he keeps his mind uninvolved like lotus leaf in the water. Somebody is asking me, she always falls in love with someone and gets heartbreak sooner or later. Yet in between the two love affairs are two cases of heartbreaks. She keeps longing, hankering, tormenting to love someone and be loved. What to do? How to get out of this vicious circle? Another Sanskrit-speaking lady from India is saying, Sarvam tyaktum na shakyate. It is impossible to relinquish all relationships. My answer is, if you ever want to love, be in love with the wise man. Attachment with him will prove to be an antidote, a clean shot to all your torturous, selfish and heartbreaker relationships. So whenever you want to love and be loved, just try wise men. स सद्भिः सह कर्तव्यः महद्भिः सह कर्तव्यः सन्तः सङ्गस्य भेषजम्. Loving to the wise is a duty because attaining one's true self is the prime duty of all beings. Their fellowship has medicinal propensities. Second course is, be kind to the miserables, but do not be that friendly that his or her misery immigrates onto your head. Do not let your face go mean and crummy. Make friendships with those spiritually happy beings who smiles and laughs and talks in love of God. From the wisdom of Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita and Devi Gita and Shiva Gita. Juliet is so sensitive. Yes, this Jewish lady Juliet is very sensitive and very kind-hearted, that I find her always morose, very sad and miserable. Because associating with miserable, she takes and picks up and piles upon herself so much of their misery, despondency, and vibrations which she cannot handle. She becomes one of them. Formerly, world had one miserable. Now it has doubled with Juliet. What you are going to do? You must have tons of million watts of ecstasy within you, yourself, to disperse others' miseries at first, okay? Then you can handle that. So, in the beginning, make friendships with as many laughing, dancing, singing, spiritual people to help you with, and have big bank balance of million-watt ecstasy. Okay? Learn to speak beforehand. Be intelligent enough to coin words, frame sentences instantly to cheer others up and invite for friendship. So third course is prasrayam. It means amiability, my dear friends. Drop your ego, drop your vanity, and a strong urge to praise yourself or posing yourself being a big shot. Drop that. Stop that. It is inhumanity. It is in humility, okay? Where all greatnesses have their roots. It is in humility, okay? Humility is real humanness, and it is in humility where all greatnesses have their roots. So learn that. And the fourth course is Shaucham, purity outside and inside both. Includes how to bath and dress and present yourself. Okay? Learn that. And fifth course of learning is No vanity state, okay? If you have vanity, means you have lived so far with spiritually inferior class people. Living with spiritual superiors slices your vanity down. When you see there is someone who has much wider and brave heart than yours, don't just be jealous like Lucille, and you will have great opportunity to grow and touch another peak of great peace, okay? Live with those who have greater knowledge than yours, better ability to express yourself, okay? Who have better ability to express himself or herself and articulate far greater realities in more picture building sentences than you. This way your ego will be finished with other bad habits. To eradicate blemishes of your mind, you need someone better than you outside. You will only be a hopeless failure otherwise. So look for such personality. Okay. Sixth is then take up the course of tapas. It means to follow the path of dharma even at the cost of great trouble. It cuts down whimsical impulses of your mind, my dear friends. So seventh course of learning is take up the course of titiksha. It is endurance, forgiveness. No matter how big offense one commits, even if you have power to punish, still you forgive. It will provide you with steady awareness. Eighth course of learning is of maunam. Minimize your lengthy talking. Lucille Tolan always bores people because the message which can be told in 3 sentences in less than a minute, she goes on dozens and wastes half an hour. Package up your message in telegraphic sentences in shortest possible brief structure, then your image will be honorable, okay? As much clear, sharp and colorful will be your feelings, your course in observing sentence, maunam, will be complete. Mind your alcoholic bad habits. Do not shoot your mouth only for inner pushing of the overpiled trash. Ninth course is Swadhyay, study of words of enlightened saints. Okay, and tenth is Arjavam, easy and simple life through establishing perfect harmony between functions of mind, speech, and senses. Okay, and 11th course of learning is Brahmacharya, and 12th course of learning is Ahimsa. Okay. 13th course is you must develop your enlightening nature. Whatsoever you see is appearing to you only. You see the United States, you see the USSR, the ghost, the heaven. And unless you become that, you cannot see them. So, as the seer you are seeing them, as the seer you are seeing them, and in those forms it is God alone, appearing in multi-million forms. This course is called Sarvatratmesharanvicham. Sarvatmesharanvicham. And then 14 courses, Kaivalyamaniketasam. You need to learn to stay all by yourself without feeling lonely or aloofness, without feeling an inch in your lungs to meet and talk to somebody. Without learning, you cannot confront the loneliness of life. At the point of utter confusion, you shout, "Leave me alone, I want to be alone." But you return doubly troubled. You always fail to enjoy being yourself. Must know, my dear friends, must learn how to enjoy yourself, being alone. How the aloneness is the greatest nectar. You have to taste it, feel it. 15 courses, learn to remain homeless and not missing your home. 16th course is how to live in just a few clothes. 17th is learn to be contented in whatever you obtain by providence. 18th is complete the course of Shraddha fully, okay? So that you stay firm and secure even in the midst of utter insecurity. Different contradicting parts of scriptures are for different people. Just like animal sacrifices, aghoris and kapaliks and tantrics and avadhutas, story of the Lord tricking King Bali and love-making episodes of Gita Govinda, or even Bhairavi Chakra and leftist Tantra. So do not shrink or narrow your heart. They apply somebody else. After all, you have not taken contract to decide who should do what for their own integration, nor you have awareness of the varieties of people in their growth mechanism. So keep your mouth shut and not blurt out your inconveniences of petty-minded ego. Just afford to have Shraddha. It will make you broad-minded instantly. Already it is much enough trouble in the Christianity and Islam and Judaism and all that have already so much petty-mindedness is spread by them. They cannot tolerate others. They have very abusive words of others who are not of their faith. So they are filling the whole world. At least you should have a straight, right, correct vision and perspective. Don't pollute the world vibration as they are doing. At least then let there be one clean place around you. Learn this course. 19 course of learning is Aninda Manyatra Chapihi. Every philosophy has a context. Somewhere in somebody's life, even Charvaka, the atheist, is for the growth of someone. Christianity, Zen, Buddhism, Jainism, Swami Narayan and Tantra and ISKCON, Ramakrishna Mission, all have their context. If not with you, is not the reason to blaspheme them. Do not condemn. They are for somebody. Somebody is out there. He or she is just waiting for it and evolve very fast with that. So blame not anybody. Watch, because ISKCON people blaspheme Shankara and labeled them as Mayavadis. Jehovah's Witnesses have also labeled Hindus very wrongly. And Islam has also labeled Hindus very wrongly. And that's why they are in troubles, threatening their very existence. If you care for your life and do not want to be blown away by a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit, then be cautious. Aninda manyatra chapihi. Don't blaspheme. 20th course to learn is something is true. That's not enough reason that you do go on talking about it. What's the use? What it helps your listeners? How it helps your listeners? That must be considered. Talking about Shankha Prakshalan or porn or homos, what's the point you talk to make What is the point you want to make? So keep a vigil on your mind and speech, my dear friends. What someone is lecturing against your belief, when someone is lecturing against your belief system, it is only to inspire you, push you to consider deeply on your point of view and bring out more pearls of wisdom. Your sleeping parts of brain are awakened. When you confront on stage someone for debate or simple arguments or just decision making, then, then a deeper part of your prajna, that is Ritambhara prajna, shoots forth some lovely words. The world purifying, one world enlightening message is sent from your within out to your verbal level. So 20th course is Manovak Karmadandam. Think and speak precisely and not vagrantly. Think in proper order, organized, systematic and useful, and then speak telegraphically, covering the whole topic. If needed, don't miss to punish your mind and senses if they fail to act out even after 3 pardons. Satyam Shamadamavapi, 21st discourse. 21st lesson is God in forms and various forms are for you to meditate on, get transcended. In the matter of forms and varieties of worship and prayers and meditations and philosophies, if you fail to understand the point and mispresent them, and your organization, your mission is proposing conflicting and confusing statements, then you are the main troublemaker, a lawyer, a cheat, an origin for causing diplomacy and duplicity. Express sweetly the useful, timely, helpful message of truth. In order to control your mind, force will not work. Okay? Lalayet chittavalakam, as you make your child to do things right. Okay? As you teach your child to do things rightly, same way you got to deal with your spoiled mind, exactly as a spoiled kid. 22nd course of learning is Shravanam Kirtanam Dhyanam. Shravanam Kirtanam Dhyanam Hareradbhuta Karmana Janma Karma Gunanam Chyotadarthe Kilacheshtitam. Not all people know how to listen. Listening is an art. Just listen vigilantly as a life or death matter. Okay? If you feel sleepy, just look at the speaker. If you are deeply interested in enjoying the topic, you may close your eyes and relax while floating in the waves of various points of the discourse. A holy man used to kick anyone out if he spotted whispering during the discourse. He said, "You are being a crook doing so." Neither blame nor praise nor complain about the voice. Listen attentively and you will make it. Craig Edward complains, "You are enjoying speaking, but I am not understanding what I am saying." In such case, order the copier of the CD or audio to record with better sound system. It would be unwise to stop listening for that reason, my dear friends. If examples are unpleasant, just focus your attention on the conclusion, the very point the speaker is making through that analogy. Tadarthe Sravanam Shikshet. You must be aware the ultimate point of the discourse is absolute truth. Introspect how much you got that. To attain the love of God, to be even-minded in pairs of opposites, to be cosmic in increasing degrees. So how much you gained that? Find that out every day. Learn it how to listen for God. If you listen for God, Sita, Radha, Lakshmi and all goddesses are pleased. When you listen, garland of lovers of God, God listens and rejoices. Learn to sing for God. Learn to give discourses for God. Learn to speak out God's messages. Wherever you find opportunity, just do that. Then meditate. Meditate from his lotus feet to lotus face over and over and over. Once it is said, the next, learn to meditate on his divine pastimes. Get materials from our literature and Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? Whatever you offer, oblations, donations, japa, penance, duties, high character, just let them all be submitted to God. Whatever is most dear to you, just offer them to God. Beautiful wife, beautiful sons, daughters, friends, relatives, all should be God-loving, okay? Make them all God-loving. If they are not, so you must be hypocrite, okay? If they are not so, you are some hypocrite in some degree. You are a crooked in some degree. You are deceptive somewhere in your life. If you find any excuse to not inspire them Godwards, you are out on charges of being double-faced. Never fool others by telling they are of immature age, and when they grow up they will do. It exhibits only your sheer dishonesty and unwillingness for your real welfare. So don't betray the path you have taken to do all the way. Tara sutan grihan pranan yat parasmai nivedanam. 24th course of learning, my dear friends, is those who have taken Lord God as their Lord, as their beloved, earn friendship with them, win intimacy, accomplish their love and respect, and color your heart with theirs. Never go intimate to worldly, business-minded or petty-minded people. If you did, you will not be relishable on our path. 25th course of learning is Parasparanukathanam Pavanam Bhagavadyasha. Parasparanukathanam Pavanam Bhagavadyasha Mithoradir Mithastushtis Nivritte Mithayatmana. In 25th course of postgraduate, please learn to speak on God upon meeting anyone, anywhere, always. Love tremendously, sink deeply, get ecstatic cosmically, my dear friends. Smarantascha mito bhogaram harim bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya Vibhratyotpulakam tanum. Remember the Lord and remind others of Him. Before you involve in any act, remember the Lord and remind others of Him. Make it a rule that you pronounce the name of God 10 times entering your office room, buying an item of daily use, beginning a talk, jumping on lunch, wedding, sports, delivery, upon opening a mail, upon dressing in a new suit. Just remember Him and remind all around, hills after hills. You pass through, my dear friends, with these kinds of patterns of life. Sometimes you cannot arrange, you cannot adjust with incessant joy continuously increasing inside you and cannot organize it. Consequently, you cry. Other times your joy overflows and have big belly laugh. Pastimes of the Lord, divine pastimes of Sri Krishna, flash out. You see his pastimes exactly as happened 5,000 years ago, a million years ago in the pastimes of Lord Ram, and 4-5 million years ago as other incarnations of Shiva and Divine Mother took place. 3, 2 or a million years ago, as clear as you will see in television screen. Same way you see the pastimes of the Lord happening right away, just this very moment. And bliss inundates your being. Other times you are still in peace like ocean, quiet and cool, and in deep samadhi-like state. Prabuddha Yogeshwar concludes, my dear friends, this is how to be educated and trained to be a sure success to cross the killer mire of Maya, my dear King Kingini. This is how you will transcend the cosmic magic, the troublesome Maya. Narayana Paramayam Anjastarati Dustaram Narayana Paramayam Anjastarati Dustaram Smarantas Marayantascha Vidho Gaugaram Harim Bhaktya Sanjataya Bhaktya Bibhratutpulakam tanum. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.